Thank you for joining me. This will be my Marvel Zombies Season 1, Episode 1 thoughts. And this episode is just called Episode 1. It is rated TVMA, so will this video be? There will be spoilers for the episode and everything MCU and adjacent leading up to it. I have not yet watched the remaining 3. Yes, I am aware they're already available. And yeah, I fucking love this one. Yeah, let's see. So I thought they did a good job here of setting up the central conflict. It's essentially like we already know. Okay, it's gonna have zombies. It's right there in the fucking title. Um, but what is the goal of the major characters? We kind of need something more than survival. That's not gonna be that. We've seen a bunch of zombie media where it's like, let's just strive for survival. That's the best we hope for. And with Marvel, there tends to be something that can like help solve the overall conflict. Yeah, I thought they did a good job of that here. I'm very excited for the remaining 3 episodes. And I think that more or less covers. Yeah, I appreciated so it is only 4 episodes, so I've already watched a quarter of the show. Yeah, I thought they accomplished enough that it doesn't feel like, yeah. Uh, yeah, scene by scene. Um, so I really love that we start on, just, yeah, these 3 young women doing a really great job. And not just because the anti-woke chuds hate it. Of the 3 of them, only one's white, and they're, for a little while we don't see even one white man who's a good guy. So they're crying about that, or potentially really happy to have something to complain about again, because they agree with what Trump is doing. So fairly little that they can milk for slop content. I think but yeah, the thing about how the 3 of them just really get along, and they struggle with the rock paper scissors. The thing. Okay, I get it. We live together. Yeah, I really appreciate media that underlines how well young women can get along. We've had so much, like literally, goddamn century of fucking misogynistic, media created under patriarchy, a lot of it from America, where like they basically act like women can't get along, which is an idea that, like, yeah, supports patriarchy. It's not really true. A lot of young women do get along. The whole thing of like, oh, they're always in competition with each other. Yeah, because under patriarchy, if yeah, when patriarchy goes the whole 9 yards, all women can hope for is a husband. There's only so many under capitalism. There's only so many husbands that can provide for them, especially today. That would breed competition. But thankfully, a lot of young women today have realized makes more sense for them to work together, because there's a lot of shitty guys out there. Remember when T got hacked, and then some of the worst people just like did a victory lap, when like it was literally just a way for women to find out if the guy they were with was shitty. Like, Jesus fucking Christ. Meanwhile, you have all this misogynistic, you know, content where they'll literally like I forget. I think it might be Sybil Capert. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Who did a video about where she reads, misogynistic male posts on the internet, and there was literally a guy who said, "Well, if I'm not entitled to, partner up with the woman I want, if she has a right to say no, I don't know. I guess women don't have a right to be alive." And it's like, Jesus fucking Christ. And there's guys who wonder why a lot of women end up hating men. I swear I did not mean to get so fucking sidetracked. Anyway, yeah, okay. I just have to say it. I'm so happy to get more Ms. Marvel. She's a compelling character, and Iman Vellani continues to give such a great performance. I can't tell if like are actors who traditionally do live action just getting better at voice acting, or did someone like find the fucking cheat code to make directing live action actors for great voice acting? Because like I don't remember when the last time that I heard like genuinely bad, you know, yeah, live action actor voice acting, which used to be a fucking problem. Um, yeah. Let's see. And yeah, she's so fucking good. Like the part where she like just can't lose Kate, and then Riri, like Jesus, that was yeah. Um, I think that is yeah, and they also continue. Both of those actors continue to do fantastic. I'm gonna miss, but you do have to. I'm gonna miss their presence on this show, but zombie media, you do have to make clear, no, 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 people are going to die here. Um, yeah, I think that more or less. Yeah, so let's see. So we start on the let's see. The three of them are just going through the city. Love all the shots. Just we see all these buildings in like a bad state, and just like yeah, it's extremely dystopian. Um, except for the zombies, it's not unlike Trump's second term. And the thing about why are there no zombies? Well, when the predators tend to move on when the food disappears. And yeah, some great stuff with Clint, who is, let's see, shit, I forget. There were so many characters died this episode. I forget if Clint was one of them. But yeah, some really great stuff in the city. Him shooting, and sometimes like the fact that she's able to duck from the arrow. I get the distance is also a factor, and that she has training, but there is that thing about the Marvel zombies, the ones that yeah, they are not quite as skilled as before they were zombified. Great bit with Friday. I love that they put because it's one of those things like it feels weird for the suit to just not have a head, so they put a stuffed animal there. I love it. Um, and the part where she's like yeah, has this tearful moment with the stuffed animal headed suit. Um, yeah, the bit where they the thing about, oh, that's a Quinjet, and Riri knows the exact make and model. Very, very cool. Of the three of them, she is the most tech. Yeah. I think that brings us to the yeah, and they know, there's probably no survivors, but maybe there's something, technological they can loot. And yeah, the very cool, the little glasses she has to scan for tech. And yeah, her EMF goggles do indeed pick up there's something inside the stomach of. And the thing about, Kate is like, I did the last gross thing. And yeah, so the others, rock, paper, scissors, and I'm sorry, just the fucking chemistry. They're so great together. I wonder if they may have recorded the voices at the at the same time, simultaneously, whatever. Um, they really play off each other very well. I mean, I get the dialogue was written for the actors to perform, but even so, not everybody can make that kind of thing work. Yeah, and she has to reach in, which, like, because she's so, she's such an like optimistic, enthusiastic character. It's so much like more nasty that she has to do this awful thing. Um, but yeah, she manages to get it out, and then jump scare because the zombie wasn't quite dead. It looked dead, like dead. And the so early on, they say, is that him, or we have to be careful of him? Oh no, shit, they were talking about Clint, weren't they? Because I had a different idea, but no, I think they were talking about Clint. And that's also a really fucking cool idea, that just zombie Clint is hanging out there, just waiting for humans to enter the city. And yeah, um, the let's see. Okay, I'm just gonna real quick check if I am right about, yeah. Okoye was also, yeah, really cool. Her as this, like, the yeah, what's the word? Um, I don't know, emissary of the Queen of the Damned. I mean, dead. Um, yeah, I think that does bring us to uh, let's see. Hmm. I think that was it for that scene. Yeah, they talk about how, it must be important enough to swallow, and so they go home. And I also like she's like, oh, I found some tomato. Is it like I don't know what the fuck those are called in English. I've only cooked in Danish. Skinned tomatoes, ripped, torn, shredded, whatever, tomatoes. Um, Tomatoes. And what was the other thing? There was definitely one other thing that I really wanted to say. Right, I appreciate the point about, they it's a throwaway line, but the thing about, um, what was it? Solar panels can't make food. Your mom did everything she could, and yeah, I mean, her mom was paranoid in the main continuity as well. Didn't prepare for zombies, I don't think, that we saw, at least. But the what's the word? She yeah, that explains how do they still have electricity, and also why do they leave when they have the house to stay in. In just a few words, very nicely done. Um, I think, yeah. So that's when they talk about what the thing is, and how to read it. The thing about they need a mother shield motherboard, and um, father interested, and the I love that they. So the car is essentially a tank, and it is true. I mean, it survived being tossed around like a fucking ragdoll very nicely. And it's called the Uhura. And then Kamala goes, engage number one. Just wonderful. I'm not sure it came up if she was also a Trekkie. We know Riri is from her show, but I forget if we saw that about Miss Khan. But certainly she, um, I could imagine it, or maybe she's just it's for Riri that she says it, but that was great. Um, and yeah, so the thing about playing I Spy, and it's like, well, there's nothing but trees and bushes, so not much we can play it with. And yeah, they see this giant hole in the mountain, and like, Jesus Christ. I don't know. I mean, when he said, let my people go, I guess he wasn't fucking around. And they they drive through, and yeah, it does seem like it was probably one or both of the, was it the broken gods, which is also, yeah, like they're destined to fight forever, that neither of them will ever lose or yield. um yeah, and they that was also such a great, the thing about, I used to watch Thunder and I thought it was beautiful. I haven't felt safe in forever. Is that thundercloud moving closer? Jesus Christ. So, I mean, okay, we were all thinking it. Zombie Thor? Zor? But apparently not. I feel bad that I forget his name, but yeah, Laser Eyes from I like the Eternals movie. I just don't remember his name anymore. It's been a while since I watched that. But yes, I chose to watch it multiple times. Um, yeah, I think yeah, very very cool, very tense when they're driving and dodging all these blasts, and yeah, eventually they get, the yeah, Uhura is damaged in it, and then the what's the word? They have the yeah, they have to try to outrun the blasts on foot. And I love that little bit where they jump over a thing and then they look towards the clouds, and the light just from the blasts produces just enough light that we, the viewer, can see what's behind them, the horde. Really really nicely done there, because it makes sense that they couldn't see it in the dark, because there was there's not constant light. And yeah, the fact that they spend several seconds before where we're just on the edge of our seats, very very nicely done there. um yeah, and super cool when they realize zombies, so they start, and like Friday, just carving through them. Jesus. And yeah, the what's the word? The thing about, Will Riri pulled a suit off Iron Man. He didn't need it anymore. Badass. Oh right, the very opening was also very cool with the, the um yeah, we just see, like nature, and then there's a zombie, Arrow, and Kate Bishop took it out. And also cool, the catching the trick arrow. I think that might bring us to So let's see. The next thing is right. So there's more fighting. Yeah, all of them got really cool moments during the fight against the Horde. I love how this version of Ms. Marvel, she is just so fucking effective and fast. Like holy shit. Um, yeah, I think that does. Uh, yeah. Um, so Miss Captain Marvel. You know, very cool look for her. Love that she's like glowing from all the energy, glowing yellow. I forget. There's a word for binary, maybe going binary, something like that. Um, yeah, very cool that's this is some of the most powerful we've ever seen her in the MCU, and she's a bad guy, so that's very very tense and exciting. Very nicely done, and I quite appreciate. Yeah, by the end of this episode, the broken gods have not been defeated at all. And it's that thing of like he couldn't be infected because in this, I think they aren't in the comics, but in the MCU, we know the Eternals are robots, so he's not been infected because that wouldn't really make sense. I don't think there's organic matter in them. It's all robot. Um, 100% the future of law enforcement, and yeah. But the thing about he's not it's a robot, but he's very badly damaged. So yeah, I mean, one option is that he's just so dedicated to taking out Captain Marvel. Um, Maybe he's one of the chuds. Uh, Boy, do they not like that movie or Brie Larson for reasons that seem elusive. Money, it's money. Uh, yeah, because I mean, he doesn't try to save or harm. I don't think any of the three. Yeah, but I think that does bring us. What was the other thing? But yeah, goddamn, the fact that Miss Marvel has to watch, one of her friends be killed by Captain Marvel zombie. Like, goddamn, yeah, when the MCU really wants, Marvel in general really wants to, they can really just like fuck with our emotions. Like, damn. And yeah, the fact that she can like, we already knew that she could make the disc things to jump higher and run up and such, but now she's like, it's completely, she doesn't even have to be using her hands for that. She can be using her hands to attack at the same time. Very very cool and clever to make tiny little splinters of them and throw them. Like it's essentially like a fucking machine gun she's got there of pure energy. Very very cool. I think that might bring us to so yeah, and then she loses Riri. God damn. Um, I think, but yeah, she does get the little thingamajig, and the MacGuffin, and yeah, Riri tells Friday to come fly away, um, Ms. Marvel, and yeah, she gets flown so far away that she wouldn't be able to get back in time to do any good for them. So yeah, she, you know, and yeah, not very long after. Right, the nightmare was very nicely done. The fact that it starts so still and quiet and like, I mean, there's color. It looks like it should be good, but then she sees the other two and they're just stock still. They don't feel zombified, but and they raise their hands and point. Just yeah, very very nicely done. Um, and yeah, she wakes up and we're introduced to Blade Knight. Jesus. Yeah. I mean, Blade Knight, when you like as soon as you like really hear and see him, like immediately it's clear they thought they would have a Blade movie out before this. But I'm very happy to have some Blade, even if it's not in movie form. You know, too bad it's not Mahershala Ali doing the voice. Um, Such a talented actor. But the let's see. Yeah, I think yeah, and he explains about Khonshu, and I like the thing about so Khonshu's like your imaginary friend, and just like trying to be nice about it, but it's like, I mean, she hasn't been introduced to Khonshu before. Um, Although it is again, it's one of those things whenever they have a line like that, it's like you live in a comic book universe, though. You've seen shit. Like, I don't know exactly why you. Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, and there's a brief moment where she thinks that he's trying to take it from her, and again, some great acting as she says, if you think you're gonna take this from me, but yeah, he says he will help, and the thing about the base. And yeah, so they get to a place where there's a horde, and the voice comes out and it's like, well, we're looking for the base. All right then, come on in. And yeah, it is very clever that she, because we yeah, in the movie, in the Black Widow solo movie, underrated, we saw that they have she could make pigs, basically die of their own, with the power of their will, although she's controlling their will. And the thing about it, she used it on pigs. The zombies ate the pigs. David Harbour, for my money, if he pops up in literally every single MCU thing from here on out, as long as they keep, as long as he's this enthusiastic about it, and they keep having fun things for him to say, and in live action do, yeah, I'm here for it. Haven't minded even one of these. I think that does bring us to, yeah, the so yeah, they scan it and find out, well, we'd have to go to space, but yeah, the Nova Corps might have a plan. That does make sense, the Nova Corps being able to stop the zombie apocalypse. Um, and it's a cool way to go big. It's its own show, so it needs something big. I think that does bring us to, let's see. Yeah. Wanda's forces attack, and yeah, very very cool. The thing about, first the first bunch are just blown up, um, and some great violence and gore there, and yeah, makes a lot of sense to have explosives on the um, on yeah, close to your base. Uh, I think that might. I guess it's a spoiler to say. I'll just say there's at least one other piece of zombie media that has that. Um, yeah, the massive attack. There was also a genuinely pretty good siege scene. I like that there were waves, um, and both sides had something to really bring to the table. Um, yeah, for a while they do a pretty decent job slowing down the zombies. It's at first not that many get in, But of course, once Abomination gets involved, it's like, what the fuck are you gonna do? That was also just shooting at him with bullets felt like, I don't know, do they really not know that that's useless? Um, yeah, I don't know. That felt, I felt like they stood for too long just shooting bullets at Abomination. I did like once Ghost showed up and killed a bunch of them. That felt more like, well, you don't see her coming kind of thing, you know. Yeah, I guess what I'm saying is I think they should have been shooting at other zombies instead of Abomination, and someone just have a line about, well, there's no reason to even try to fire at Abomination, you know. It just does not do any good. It pisses him off. Like, I don't know, if you have another Emil Blonsky in your base, that I guess that's something, but yeah, I think that brings us, and that was also cool that the widows are now working for, you know, because like, yeah, with I mean, we don't know exactly what happened, but I'm guessing something happened to Dreykov in this, you know, part of the multiverse, and now shit, the widows are under, you know, they work for, and that's also clever calling them the daughters, their daughters, you know, both Red Guardian and Melina, I think is her name. Risk to fuck to check right now. Anyway, I think, yeah, very cool when they're standing in the you know, the end of the hallway, and they're just waiting and waiting and waiting, and we know any minute now there's going to be, and also, yeah, the fact that Captain America's back, literally just his back and his, you know, head and arms. That's all that's left. That was very clever because, like, yeah, some zombies can keep going. Um, yeah, after being bisected. I think, does that bring us to the, yeah, very cool fight. That's again something I do appreciate, you know, because like, I get why it would have been difficult to fit it into the MCU movies, but every so often one of these will have, you know, Red Guardian actually fight, yeah, a you know, another super soldier, and to have him fighting, you know, yeah, and the thing about, you know, oh, you think you could, oh, he's underneath me, isn't he? And very cool fight. And you know, just, yeah, it's, yeah, moving around, covering himself with the shield until you know, the other one needs to reload, and then jumping and biting and all this stuff, and ultimately, you know, yeah, Red Guardian takes him out by jumping and like smushing him, you know, with his weight and all, and the super, what's it called, super strength, you know, which feels like, you know, I thought the fight lasted long enough that it didn't feel like an anticlimax, and it is also the kind of thing that is like, I mean, yeah, that should work. That makes sense. Um, you know, zombie flesh, a lot of pieces of media, weaker than human flesh, and again, the super strength. Yeah, I let's see. Yes, so yeah, the little shards that Ms. Marvel fired, very effective, very nicely done, and yeah, they have to you know, retreat basically. I uh, I'm not sure if every episode is gonna have quite this much like last stand kind of, you know, self-sacrifice thing, because like both Riri and Melina, you know, in two separate locations, two separate points. Like the episode's like 30 minutes long. It felt a little bit like, I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna love if the next three episodes are also gonna have quite that much. Obviously, character death is, you know, you're gonna want to have that in a piece of zombie media, but I hope they. I just hope it's different circumstance, I guess is what I'm saying. You know, they don't, it doesn't have to be that they self-sacrifice. It can be that they're surprised, for example. I think that does bring us to, yeah, I really appreciated he's really upset that Melina is going to stay, but she locks the doors so that he can't, and even with his super strength, he wouldn't be able to pull those things open. And then she actually manages to use, yeah, she converts a bunch of the Wanda zombies, the Wandas, Zandas, something like that. She blinded them with science. And then Okoye is like, well, fuck you. We're just going to convert them back. And the spear going through and the blood dripping off was very nicely done. And yeah, the abomination gets through, of course. And they, end up setting off the explosives to bring the house down onto the abomination to slow him down. I guess it's not impossible he died in that. I don't know. It takes a lot to take out a Hulk. But yeah, shit, what was the other thing? There was definitely another thing, and that other thing, god damn it. So I appreciate, I 100% understand her grief. But the fact that, so Yelena sets off the explosives and then goes like, Melina, no. I mean, you set up. I don't know. I get that. Who else could have? I think it should have been David Harbour's character who sets off the explosives instead of, because like it, you know, yeah, that just felt weird to me. I think that pretty well brings us to, yeah, I like the, yeah, that's another thing. Like, anytime you bring David Harbour into one of these, please give him lines that he can really ham, because he's so fucking good at it. His big speech, are we going to let them win? Will they feast on our flesh? And I love that the widows, including Yelena, always just say yes or no. But Ms. Marvel will, instead of saying no, she'll be like hell no, or instead of yes, it's damn right, and just, yeah, that was very, very charming. Like, she just wants to be part of the band, even if she doesn't completely have a grip on the music yet. Okay, um, yeah, and the thing about, well, space it is, and Blade Knight knows where there is a ship. Very, very cool. So, I fucking loved seeing Blade Knight take down Ghost. They used Ghost better here than fucking Thunderbolts. Like, I love that movie, but goddamn, did they not know how to deal with Ghost's powers? Jesus Christ. But yeah, I wish that the very ending of Blade Knight taking out Zombie Ghost hadn't been spoiled in one of the trailers, but at least we didn't see all of it, and certainly we didn't see all of what she did. It was very, very, I already mentioned the other stuff she did. But yeah, uh, let's see. I guess that, I feel like there's one more thing I wanted to say about this episode. Let's see. Uh, let's see. Um, hmm. Maybe maybe that was everything. Let's see. Yeah, um yeah, it was also just, that's a fight that makes a lot of sense for us to see, Blade versus Ghost. It's the kind of thing where they really would be a match for each other, and that's something that, the MCU has been good at, giving us matchups that we really want. There were That wasn't always the case for comic book adaptations, movies and shows and such. Yeah, I think that covers the entire episode. Yeah, really stoked for the next one. And let's see, I think... God damn it, I feel like there's one more thing that I really wanted to say. What was... let's see. I think... No, it wasn't that. Let's see. Yeah. No, maybe, No, yeah, I think that is everything. Okay, yeah. So I... Right. The use of the trick arrow was also, um, yeah, I don't know, slightly fun. Yeah, I think that covers everything. So the let's see. Um, God damn it! I swear there's at least one thing, but what the fuck is it? Okay, maybe I'll if I remember it before one of the other videos I do on the show, then I'll mention it there. Yeah, I think that does completely cover. Yeah. I guess I will just briefly. Let's see. Just gotta make sure that I. Huh. Okay, cool. I didn't realize quite how many. Quite how many times Carrie Condon has voiced Friday. But that was also very cool. Her returning for this. Yeah, I think that does cover everything. Yeah, they got it out of the way early. I've mentioned before, every single time. I mean, I'm not complaining because she's a really talented actress, and I appreciate how often they have it make sure it's to do with her character losing like a family member or uh, yeah, it's often related to family, but yeah, this absolutely does not break the streak of every single time Yelena pops up in the MCU, or in this case multiverse, she cries.